Join me right now on Kumite Radio is former BAMMA heavyweight champ and UFC veteran Mark Godbeer. What's going on, Mark?
How you doing, man? You all good?
Good, good, man. Let's
And
talk about
spoke
this
for
fight you got coming up.
Yeah. What do you want to
You
know?
know, it's the first ever event for the promotion. I think it's MAS fight or MAS
Yeah,
fight. I'm not for sure.
yeah,
Um,
mass.
MAS fight, November
Yeah.
10th, not too far away from now in Macau. How did you end up hooking up with this promotion?
Um. So basically, uh, I've the last couple of months hasn't, it's been quite rocky for me because I did carry an injury, so I've been out. Obviously, I've been out with injury and stuff. But then, obviously, I was in rehab with injury. Got my injury better, and then I decided to come over to Thailand when obviously when my friends are based at Fairtex and stuff, and get some training in. Start training for fights and start looking for stand-up fights because obviously I've come away from the UFC now and I'm looking to go down the stand-up route because I believe stand-up's always been my sort of forte, and it's something I've always wanted to do. I said before I end up retiring, I wanted to go down the stand-up route. So obviously we heard about this, me and my management and stuff. We heard about mass fight. Um, my management's very friendly with the guy that runs the Booster brand. I believe he put in a word with the matchmaker saying I'm a free agent. Um, and then I just literally seen this post come up on Facebook saying mass fight, and the matchmaker Sassan, I believe, he put this post out, and I just commented on it and I said I'm interested in this. Send me the contract. And then the next minute, I had an inbox, and I got 2 weeks to prepare for 9-minute round. So let's go.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man. You know,
yeah,
technology, sometimes it can be beneficial.
yeah. And I'm one of these sort of. I believe everything happens for a reason. The fact that I just literally come away to Thailand to train and to get my head back in the game, and then all of a sudden this fight's come up. It's not too far from Thailand. I'm in the time zone. I'm actually considering I had a little bit of time off of injury. With rehab. Obviously, I still try and train and stuff around it. So, but my cardio and stuff is actually pretty good. So I just thought, let's go. Let's take it. It's 2 weeks notice, but you don't get nothing in life without taking risks.
Definitely.
So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking the risk. I'm jumping in. Probably with one of the best stand-up guys in the world, maybe. But it's the rule set is that there's a lot of things that can work in my favour. I'm fighting a strict K1 guy, so there's a lot of even though there's no ground game in this is I think it's like old shoot box rules. The 9-minute rounds and throws, and the still got the clinching and so forth. So, um, but everyone that knows me knows I do actually love to stand and bang. I do love to let my hands go, and it's just going to be good to be able to just stand in a ring with someone and trade punches until someone gets knocked out. That's my game. That's my forte. Or most of my wins on my MMA record has come via knockout. So it's one of the reasons why I wanted to go down the stand-up route.
Speaking of your opponent, he's a Dutch strongman, Ismael Lazaar. When you heard his
Yeah.
name, you probably know him as a decent striker, but when you heard his name, did it excite you more than normal?
Um, I knew exactly who he was. It's funny actually because um, obviously, like I said, the stand-up route is something I've wanted to go down. I've been to watch Glory a couple of times. Sorry if you hear a bit of pinging in the background. I should have turned my notifications off. I went to watch Glory a couple of times, and like I was really interested in the guys, sort of like the Rico Verhoeven, and I sort of thought to myself, this guy's the top of his game. He's the #1 stand-up guy. So I've sort of followed him a little bit as well, out of respect. I've been watching him and thinking, this is something I'd like to do. And I remember this guy just popped up out of the blue, Ismael Lazaar. He just popped, and I started actually. It was a few months back. I started following him and watching his fights and stuff. And then I thought, God, this guy's a tough guy. Like, you can never judge a book by its cover. That's one thing I've learned in this game. And he ended up fighting ranked #1 in the world for the world heavyweight title. So he's no mug. He's no mug. He is a good guy. As soon as I heard his name, I thought, if I'm going to go into the stand-up sort of route and down the stand-up road, a guy like him, if I can take him out and prove to people that I belong there, then it's going to open up a lot more opportunities. So, like I said, I'm a fighter. I've been offered probably one of the best stand-up guys in the world, and I've took it. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. Why not, man? Like, you gotta grab every opportunity by the balls and just take it, man, and go and, prove yourself. Now, you're back at Fairtex Training Center in Thailand. This time around, you're focused solely on your stand-up. Who are you working with down there? Because there's so many good stand-up fighters at that facility.
Yeah, this is the thing. Obviously, it's a 2-week fight camp, and anyone in the fight game knows that you don't learn nothing in 2 weeks. So what we're working on is basically the things that I do know, and going over a game plan. I'm working with a specific coach and Dimitri, and just going over this game plan I've got. I don't want to give stuff away, and but there's holes I do see in Ismael's game, and I'm I'm sure there's big holes he sees in my game. But this is a different type of fight to what I normally fight. In MMA, stand-up can be very tentative because obviously you got to worry about your takedowns and so forth. And I'm fighting a K1 guy, so these issues are not in the back of my head. So you're going to see a different side to my stand-up. You're going to see my combinations flow. You're going to see a completely different side to my stand-up to what it is in my MMA game. So obviously there's really good guys at Fairtex, but the main guy I'm working with really is my coach Dimitri, because like I said, we took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. It's not about who I'm working with now. It's about getting my cardio right up and working on a game plan. So that's where we're at with it.
Yeah, you just mentioned that you don't have to worry about the wrestling and the grappling. It's not in the back of your mind. How much of a release is that for you when you're training now?
It's a big release. I do generally feel you do have strikers in MMA. You have some good strikers in MMA, but I do generally feel that one of my strongest points was my stand-up, or just my power. That's how my nickname come about, the hand. The hand, because I was known for knocking people out, especially earlier on in my career and stuff. Later on down my MMA career, there were very few people that were willing to actually stand and trade with me. So in my head now with this fight, it's great. I'm genuinely really excited to get in there and try something different and just stand in a ring with a guy that loves to do the same as what I love to do, and that's just stand there and throw throw some bombs and just see which one goes to sleep first, because that's what this competition's about. The only way you can win in this mass fight is by knocking the guy out. I think the only difference is, I'm not 100% sure, but from what I can see, I don't think Ismael has maybe fought in 4-ounce gloves. You know, I don't care who you are, how good of a chin you've got. With these 4-ounce gloves, they are different to boxing gloves. You know, if you think you can stand there and take shots off heavyweights with 4-ounce gloves, you're gonna have a shot coming. So let's just see how his stand-up plays out. If he's tentative, if he's willing to come forward and take the shots like he does to get in on people, because 4-ounce gloves is a different ball game. But it's 4-ounce gloves without so much the wrestling and takedown side. So, you know, and also as well, the sort of wrestling is allowed, but more like the Greco, the upper body stuff and the throws and stuff, you know. So that maybe, I don't know, maybe I've got more tools to this kind of style than what he has. You know, I think there's no denying his stand-up is probably, I wouldn't say better, but he's more well-known for what he does, and that is K1 style stand-up.
I wanted to go over the rules with the people that are watching if they don't know. It's 1 round, 9 minutes. You can only win via knockout. There's no judges, no points, no ground fighting, but throws are allowed. What is there not to like about this rule set?
It's like old shootbox rules, if I'm correct. You know, it's a banger's paradise. If you like to stand and bang, then it's perfect, and that's exactly what I like to do: stand and trade. So the rules are perfect. It's basically MMA rules, but once it hits the deck, they stand you straight back up. There's none of that, no BJJ or wrestling on the deck, you know. It's not to say that there's no wrestling to get you to the deck, but once it gets to the deck, you have to get back up. There's no, like, hanging around on the bottom, grinding the fight out. I think what they're looking for is just an all-action fight. They just want, as brutal as it sounds, they just want to see someone get knocked out, and that's what fans pay to see. They pay to see two big guys that go at it, throw their bombs, and see which ones, you know, which of the best man wins.
Yeah, you know, this card intrigues me so much because the main event is crazy. You got the invincible Monk versus the techno Goliath. You know, I'm pretty sure after you fight, you're gonna go back and, you know, sit cage side and watch that, right?
Yeah, what have we got? What's the heights? What's the heights with them? Is it one like 5'10" and the other one's like
7'6"?
7'6", yeah, 7'6" and 5'10". It's literally David versus Goliath, isn't it? So it's like the old school again. It's like old school Pride. You remember the old school Pride? Your first round used to be 9 minutes, and they used to have these big sort of freak show fights, and sometimes you'd be really surprised to actually realize that this little dude is one tough bitch, and he's just knocked out this big massive monster that no one thought that they could touch. You know, the sort of Asian market seems to love that sort of fight. They love the freak show fight, and I'm not sure if that's the right word to use, but you know, it is commonly used. It is, if you think about it, it is a crazy ass fight, isn't it? That's what makes it so exciting, just to see, you know, if this little dude takes out this 7'6", literally monster, then I'd probably buy him a pint myself afterwards and say, fair play, mate. But I think he's a monk, isn't he? The guy's a monk. I followed him years and years ago, so I don't know. I don't think he drinks, so probably won't end up buying him a pint.
Something. Before I let you go, I wanted to ask you about Ismael. He's somewhat of a controversial figure. You know, he got busted for PEDs in the past. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on the steroid issue in MMA or in combat sports, and especially USADA, your experience with them?
Yeah. Oh, USADA is clean anyone that doesn't, that thinks that anyone in the UFC is still juicing and stuff. They're they haven't got a clue as far as USADA is concerned. Going back to the UFC, I had an app on my phone. It was called the USADA Update app. So, but once every 12 weeks, I had to update this app, and I had to tell them exactly where I was going to be every single day for 12. I had to give them my training schedule and where I'm living for the next 12 weeks every single day. If I ever diverted off of that app, I had to log into the app to let them know. This is how strictly the USADA program is. I'd be in bed 6:30 in the morning. I'd have bang 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 on the door. I'd be like, "Who's that?" You know what I mean? Who's that on my door? You know, normally it's bailiffs or something. You know what I mean? I'd pay me parking fines or something. You know. So I look out the window and there'll be like a doctor there with a briefcase. I'm like, "Hello?" They're like, USADA. 9 times out of 10, I hadn't done my morning pee by then, so it was straight in and out, have my pee and then test, do my test, whatever they had to do straight out. The worst ones was when I just had my morning pee and they've turned up and I've got to wait. They got to sit in my front room for hours until I can pee again. So yeah, the UFC side of things is clean. It is very clean. I can't really comment on the Asian sort of market because I'm just sort of delving into it now, so I don't know what the rules are or how they go about things and stuff, But what's my views on it? I think it's good. It cleans up the sport. Yeah, it cleans up the sport. It gives everyone a fair advantage. But back in the Pride days, let's just say back in the Pride days, I think it's blatantly obvious that everyone was doing it. So if everyone was doing it, then everyone had the same advantage. So maybe that's the Asian market. I don't know. I'll let you think about that one.
Definitely. Well, November 10th is coming up quick. Mass fight, Macao. You're back fighting.
Yeah.
And it's something that you probably would have never thought of, when you retired from MMA, that you would be fighting in this type of promotion, right?
Yeah, I like I said at the beginning of the interview, this was just out of the blue, and it was an opportunity that I had. It was getting to the point where I was getting a little bit broke. I had like I said, I was out for a long time with injury issues. Obviously, asked to be released from the UFC for various reasons of my own. I wanted to go down other routes, stand-up routes and stuff. And then this opportunity just come up right at the right time. So, I have got children and stuff, and that I'd rather be doing this, something I love, and supporting them doing this than going back home and getting my tools back out and going back on a building site. So, yeah, it's you get opportunities in life, and if you're not willing to take the risks, then those opportunities are just going to pass you by. So I sat there, literally thought about it for 2 minutes, and I was like, this is the opportunity. If you don't take it now, then it may never come again. So yeah, here I am in Thailand, just about to fly to Macao and fight some crazy ass rule sets and entertain the crowd.
All right, Mark, I'm excited for you. Thank you for your time, and good luck on your fight.
Yeah, man. Sure. Thank you.